Someone wrote this in the comment section saying, "Oh, of course Matt hates Liverpool, he's a Tottenham fan." Since when were they rivals?
I know.
I was going to call myself Mark there. Hi guys, welcome back to another OneFootball Daily with myself and Angelina, where we've taken 8 European leagues and we are ranking how well last season's champions have performed this season. Can you take us through the tiers, Angelina?
Yes, I can. So first up, we have got Can't Touch This. So absolutely killing it, doing amazing this season. We've got Hit Me Baby One More Time, which is still may have a fighting chance. My Heart Will Go On, which is maybe next year.
And an absolute tune.
Yes, of course. Then we've got Dropped It Like It's Hot, which is just, they're a hot mess. They've had an absolute mess.
They're messed up.
And finally, another great song, End of the Road, which is, they're done and dusted, basically.
Done forever.
Yes.
Okay, let's get straight into it. The first one, we'll start with PSG.
Okay.
This one was kind of interesting because they prematurely cancelled. By the way, from the COVID pandemic, yes, Liga and the Eredivisie were cancelled, but we're still taking the guys who are officially named as champions or who are top. PSG, on the first one, this season's actually interesting in Liga.
Yeah, it's actually been really interesting, and I feel like, last season, PSG did what PSG do, they ran away with it, whereas we're getting a bit of competition, and I also feel like, as we've all seen, they've got bigger fish to fry at the moment.
They do.
So, you know what? Let a few other teams be in the mix, and I think, it is definitely exciting to see.
They have switched manager halfway through the season, had quite a few losses under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
I actually want to be positive, because I'm sick of the negativity. I want to give credit to the guys who are challenging PSG.
Yeah.
Like Lille, especially. Give them credit rather than say
it's because PSG aren't as good. Yeah,
can't as good.
They've definitely stepped it up.
Because they have been good, PSG, especially Champions League shows that. I can't help but feel that they're just going to edge it. Ooh, but I'm not so sure. What are you going for?
Not because I have any hate towards PSG, just because I like to see the competition. I feel like this could be a My Heart Will Go On kind of situation where it will be next year. I feel like next year. Like I say, they've got bigger fish to fry. They're focusing on other things. So let Lille or another team, maybe have it.
I'm going to go Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Okay.
I think they're still in with a very good chance, to be honest. I know at the moment it's only a few points. So maybe, I'm going to go for that. Next one up, let's move to the Eredivisie. Another one that was actually cancelled last year, but Ajax were top. They weren't officially named champions. But they are doing very well this season. This one's a slightly easier one. Yeah,
this one, they're absolutely killing it at the moment. This may be a can't touch this kind of situation because...
I think so.
Yeah.
When we talk about the opposition with PSG and Lille, the rest of the Eredivisie is just falling so far behind. You know what it is? It's money.
Yeah.
Money rules football now, people, because Ajax sold in the last few years De Jong and De Ligt, we know that. There was also the likes of Serginho Dest who left. Who else did they get rid of? There's quite a few other players. I will double check my notes very quickly. Oh yeah, of course, Van der Beek and Hakim Ziyech. They made so much money. They bought in players like Martinez at the back. They've also got Sebastian Haller, Anthony. They basically have too much money going around in a division that doesn't have much money.
Yeah. So it's kind of...
Yeah, this isn't a surprise.
I think, to be honest, it's more going to be who gets second and third because PSV and Alkmaar, they're a little bit more kind of in a bit of a race. I feel like Ajax, it's a bit done and dusted.
They're too far ahead. No one can touch them.
Nobody can.
Are we agreeing on can't touch this?
Agreeing.
All right, move on to the next one and we will go to... We've got quite a few to get through. Let's go to Serie A with Juventus.
This has been a crazy one.
This was interesting because for the most part of the season, there's been so much negativity. And then towards the end, as other teams sort of fall off a bit, Juve are back in the Champions League places, but they're nowhere near the title.
No. Nowhere near. I feel like there was a period where I was actually concerned, are they going to get into that top four? I mean, they've managed to kind of claw their way back. But they're just not on that level, and I think this is another situation where, I think Juventus they've not been on their A game at all, but I think also credit to those other teams, to Inter Milan, to AC Milan, for really stepping it up. I think it's been great to see.
The thing is, I think the Juventus are just so set up to win all the time because of the history and the money, even though they need to sell this summer to make a bit more money.
Yeah.
And the players that they've got, what are you going to say? Which category are you going for?
I mean, I don't want to be a Juventus hater, but I do feel like they've dropped it like it's hot.
Really? Think it's that bad? They've done messed up.
Yeah, I just think looking at, I know this is just the league, but when you tie in the stuff with the Champions League as well, and it's just, you look at some of the players that they've got and it's just not working out, and they've really dropped it like it's hot. They have. I'm gonna
go the middle one. My heart will go on.
Yeah.
I think Juve next year will be back on top. That's not to say that Inter Milan will fall off.
Yeah.
There will just might be more of a title race between those two, I think. Right, next up to Turkey, where Istanbul Başakşehir here won it last season. I get the feeling this is going to be very quick because, hands up, we don't watch a huge amount of Turkish football.
Yeah.
We'll honestly say that. But a quick glance at the table will show you to go from being first to falling into a relegation scrap.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not a good look, Başakşehir here. And I was looking at a few of their transfers that they made. They lost a key midfielder in Kavici, I can't quite pronounce his name properly. Made a few good signings. The highlight of their season was beating Man United in the Champions League. Apart from that,
not much has been happening.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if they actually go down?
That would be...
That would be mad and embarrassing.
That would be really bad. I mean, it's just been terrible. I mean, they did get relegated about, I think it's not about 8 or 9 years ago. So I don't know if this is some weird cycle.
But not as champions.
Not as champions though.
And especially considering they're like quite well backed in the political financial scene, this is also a double embarrassment to them.
And to get that first in this league, obviously they've won other titles before, but in this league setup, to get their first title, so great. And then it's just been a terrible decline, and it is the end of the road. I'm sorry.
It is. That is the end of the road for Istanbul Başakşehir here. Unfortunately, next one. Let's go to Germany.
I think this one's pretty. I mean, there's been more competition.
A little bit more.
And it's really been interesting, especially seeing kind of Dortmund slip a little bit as well. But it's Bayern Munich, isn't it? It
is Bayern Munich. Very, very good. Having said that, like we gave praise to the competitors in France, I'm actually going to spread some hate to the competitors in Germany, because this season I feel like Bayern Munich have been there for the taking.
I would agree with you on that, yeah.
Dortmund messed up. Gladbach aren't doing as well.
It was a lot more open this season.
Yeah, a lot more open. I think Frankfurt and it might be Wolfsburg, I may be completely wrong there, are challenging for the Champions League places. Things aren't going as normal, and I'm putting them in this. Bayern Munich dropped it like it's hot.
Ooh.
Despite the fact they are top of the league and looks like they'll be beating Leipzig to the title yet again, this was the season for someone to overtake Bayern and win. What they won in a row now? 8 in a row, I believe. Maybe 9 in a row this season. This was the time. Bayern Munich dropped it like it's hot. And no one else was there to pick it up, cool it off and eat it. If we're talking about food.
See, I get what you're saying, but then at the same time, looking at the facts, they are still top of the table and winning. So maybe they can't touch this kind of situation for me, because they're still, those other teams haven't stepped up as much as they should. Yeah. But Bayern is still winning, so can't touch it for me.
This very
can't
true.
touch this.
Right, let's go to Portugal.
Okay.
Portugal, last season's champions Porto. You know what? I was having a look at Porto's season. I don't think it's actually that bad.
No, me neither. I mean, it's one of those, it's always like this Benfica-Porto kind of battle. And obviously like Sporting are now in the race, and it's just, I think it's another situation where it's been quite nice to see a bit of a change as well. Yeah,
and I feel like you look at their, again guys, this is obviously as we're filming, the fact that they're a couple of games worth of points behind Sporting, who have gone on an unusual run, basically. Sporting haven't won the title in like 18, 19 years, and now all of a sudden they've come in this season and they're unbeaten as of yet. That's highly unusual. And if you took away that, and Porto are having a pretty regular season, a couple of losses, and quite a few wins, and made it all the way to the Champions League quarters, which has taken a lot of their attention and energy as well. I don't know. The fact is that you probably think Sporting are going to win. But I don't think there's been much of a drop-off for Porto. I'm going to go hit me baby one more time.
See, I think I'm going to go my heart will go on just because, like we said, Sporting are unbeaten at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, it could change, but I just think they'll be back next year. I mean, it's not like they really left to come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think next year we'll probably see them maybe at the top. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think next year
I
will
think
be
they've
better.
got a chance this season. I think they might sneak in. Right, let's go to the final two that we've got. The first one is La Liga. Of course, Real Madrid are reigning champions. This is so exciting.
Crazy title.
I love La Liga this season.
I know.
And what's even better is, I guess the same thing's happening in Portugal too. You're not just fighting other teams for the title. They're fighting their biggest city rivals in Atletico and the biggest rivals ever in Barcelona.
Yeah, it is
Like,
wild.
you're not just, making up random rivalries against other teams.
I know. It is so exciting, and I do kind of look at Atletico and think, like, a few months ago you had it, you were flying, what has gone on? Because I think always, especially, if you've watched La Liga over a long period of time, I feel like we've paid our dues. And don't get me wrong, seeing Real Madrid and Barcelona play has been absolutely phenomenal, but just those two in the race every season, it was starting to get a little bit dry.
Everyone was cheering for the underdog.
And to see Atletico and Sevilla as well that have done really well, really step it up and mix things up so that we're now actually in this, arguably, the tightest title race at the moment across Europe. I just think it's really great to see, to be honest.
It is great to see. I kind of feel like both Real and Barca have dropped off a little bit. Like the fact that, and again, no offence to Atletico Madrid, but the fact that Atletico have been put together such a good run of form and were so far ahead at one stage in La Liga shows you that Real Madrid and Barcelona weren't up to scratch. The fact they've made it into a title race is obviously because, like you said, Atletico lost a bit of form when they were doing so good. Oh, you know what? I just think Real Madrid actually aren't too different to last season. They had a poor run of form, still going strong in the Champions League. I'm going to put them as hit me baby one more time.
I think I'm going to go with the same because when you look at the fixtures that are left, just looking at Atletico and Real Madrid at the moment, their fixtures are kind of similar. They're both playing teams that are maybe more towards the bottom of the table, and then they've got like one or two fixtures where things could go a little bit wrong. But I think they've still got a chance because this is the part of the season that Real Madrid sometimes really do thrive in. So
this is when the biggest teams rely on their history and just the culture of winning, and they somehow pull it out the bag.
They do.
I agree. Right, finally, the last one. I don't even wait for this one. Liverpool. In the Premier League. I don't want to shit on them here, but it's kind of difficult not to.
Let's.
Fire! Throw some fire on the producer, Ryan. God. Again, so many teams have been bad this season, but I just think this is a phenomenal drop.
How have we gone from like 99 points, winning the league?
What was it? Wait, 99 and then 97 when they won it or something like that, 96?
Yeah, it's like, how have you gone from all of those points? Absolutely killing it. And I think it is, I think you've talked about it before, like, it is hard to keep that consistency.
Yeah, of course.
But it's still been terrible. And yeah, my Man United bias is coming in. It's been abysmal.
The thing is, if you've watched Jurgen Klopp teams, you'll know this happened at Dortmund. There was a slightly different edge to it at Dortmund with losing a couple of key players kind of throughout and having a bigger turnover in terms of players within the team. Liverpool haven't lost any key players to transfers, that is. Obviously to injuries they have.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a bit of a mare with the injuries.
Oh, yeah. But I just think, when you consider how far off Manchester City they are.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, this massive, massive gap between the two that you wouldn't even put them in the same category this season. And they're going to be lucky if they get fourth because like fourth, fifth and sixth, it's tight.
Yeah.
And I think unless, likes of West Ham and Chelsea, West Ham who are flying at the minute, unless they're going to really mess up, they might be in the Europa League. If they're lucky, who knows what could go wrong for them,
Maybe
do you know
even
what I
that
mean?
weird other Europa League.
Yeah.
I'm rearing his head. This Conference League or something, maybe. Yeah, the thing is, again, if everything... City are doing a Manchester City thing because they are set up for success regardless if they have an off-season or not. United have done very well. The other teams who are in there, Leicester and West Ham have had very good uncharacteristic seasons, especially West Ham, not so much Leicester. Chelsea are fighting back into it. Arsenal and Tottenham and Liverpool have had very uncharacteristically poor seasons. So you could say that Liverpool, even though they've done worse, they should have still been up there. So I really think they've shit the bed with this one.
I completely agree. I just feel like you say, I think all eyes were on Chelsea at the beginning of the season. Things have not gone great for them. Like you say, Spurs, I think people were expecting great things from Arsenal. That definitely hasn't happened. So for Liverpool to still be struggling when some of what you would class as their main rivals in that top four kind of position, not for the title, they're struggling.
Yeah, everyone's struggling.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those. Yes, I feel bad for them because of the injuries. Yes, the injuries are bad. But at the end of the day, you've still got the same people up front that are supposed to be absolutely amazing. And thank God for Jota that he came in. Saved the day a little bit, I think. Obviously, bringing in Thiago, there was a lot of expectation. They've dropped it like it's hot, if I'm being honest.
They dropped it like it's hot. I'm actually... do we go end of the road with this one? I'm going end of the road for Liverpool.
I can't go end of the road because the hate I'll get as a United fan. So you take end of the road.
Someone wrote this in the comment section saying, of course Matt hates Liverpool, he's a Tottenham fan. Since when were they rivals?
I know, I've never...
Tottenham have never been... The only time Tottenham rivaled Liverpool was the first 24 seconds of the Champions League final. After that, they've never been rivals of Liverpool. Liverpool have been far above Spurs. I think it's the end of the road because this team and this manager, I'd be amazed if they managed to get back to where they were.
Do you feel like it's the end of their cycle?
End of the cycle, but that's not a very good
song.
Boys to Men song.
No, I don't think that would flow really well.
End of the cycle, amazing. Right, thank you so much for watching as always, because that has been our tier list. Let us know, of course, down below in the comment section where you would place all of these reigning champions. And until the next video, from myself and Angelina, we will see you guys next time.